That's a brilliant start to the video. Hello, people watching in the future. I'm Leela. That's Naomi. These are our big asks. I don't really have a topic because I literally woke up like 25 minutes ago. So, what you got, Naomi?
Well, I've been awake since I think the first text came in at 5:30, 6
Who
o'clock.
is texting you at that hour? What is wrong with your friends? Get new ones.
Well, they're actually people kind of had the asks flipped on me, which is kind of nice. Um, People have been reaching out. There's fires near our place. Like we can see the flames from our house close. And so people are reaching out, hey, do you guys need to evacuate? Do you need help? I don't have a truck, but I can fit a lot of stuff in my car, so it's actually
Aww.
been but it was one of those texts. It was just like, same kind of thing. Who the hell's texting me this early? But it was somebody who said, hey, we're concerned. So that was kind of nice.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So, and it was a somewhat unexpected, from an unexpected source in a way. So it was a good reminder to me that sometimes our asks aren't necessarily asking for things, but sometimes our asks are reaching out and asking, how can I help? What can I do? What do you need? Can I help? And I know for me, what it's brought back is a lot of the people I know locally, I know they have big communities around them, church communities, friend communities, mommy and me group communities, work communities. They have many of the people I know have a really large community around them. So I don't think to reach out necessarily and ask, because I know 50 million other people are. And today was just a good reminder that sometimes it's nice to ask.
All right, being in the dark was bothering me after all.
And now you're like merry-go-rounding.
That's how big my bedroom is.
You've now all had the tour.
Say that again.
You've all now had the tour.
Yes. It was either that or leap across the bed while you were talking. And you know how weird it is for me to like leave the video mid-conversation. I'm still here.
It's happened.
My bed is literally, or my bedroom is literally big enough for my queen-sized bed and like 2 feet, 1.5 feet of space on either side of it.
Not a lot of walking around.
But somehow I do yoga in here because I'm awesome like that.
Right, you are. Well, and you're tiny.
I am tiny. It's 12.
You're big, but you're tiny.
I'm tiny.
Small, tiny.
I'm in a tiny package.
Yes, good things come in fun sizes. So for me, that's kind of been the take on the asks this week, has been looking at that and then looking at the disappointment when the asks that you think are coming through don't.
Ooh, talk more about that.
Well, in a lot of our previous calls recently anyway, we've talked about getting your crew on board, getting your angels, your guides, God, whatever it is that you reach out to, and getting them on board with what it is that you're up to, what it is you say. And one of the asks as I approach 50 that I had was, I want to do something fun for my birthday. And I don't want to have to plan it. Right? So some of my friends were like, well, isn't your half side planning something? It's like, you got the wrong Indian, because he ain't that kind. It's not in his nature. He doesn't know my friends. He doesn't have their numbers. For him to plan something, it's just not gonna happen. A few of my friends who I would want to spend my birthday with are out of town. Some we didn't plan it specifically for my birthday, but I was counting it as birthday because it was girl time. And I don't get a lot of girl time because a lot of my friends have kids. And so when they're not working, their life is their kids, which I get. Find annoying as a person with no children, but I get.
It's annoying as a person with the children. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, I've just gotten accustomed to that's the case, period. But so I had a girls' day planned. And it ended up that somebody ended up having to schedule a meeting and they weren't going to get back from where they were having to drive to in time. Could we reschedule? And the other person didn't feel well. And so it fell through. I was like, well, that's a bummer. And they want to reschedule, but it's probably going to be in about a month or two, honestly, which is what our schedules look like. And then I have an event that's a monthly event, and it happened to fall on my birthday. So I was going to go. I'm taking effing cupcakes because I'm having effing chocolate cupcakes for my birthday. And I've been saying that for like 3 weeks now. I'm fucking making cupcakes. I don't care if it's too hot to light the oven. We're having fucking cupcakes. So I'm making myself cupcakes.
Yeah.
I was excited because this is a group of women that I've networked with and hung out with for 5 years. Well, they're canceling this month's meeting. So I was like, thanks, crew. So, yeah, I was disappointed.
Okay. Yes. And how did you handle that? Or have you handled it yet?
Oh, I'm pouting. Now, my lovely husband, bless his heart, king of reframes, he's like, maybe it's simply opening the door for something better.
And how did that feel?
It was mixed. There was like, you know what? He may be right because my goal is to take life from that space. And I wasn't quite in the place to hear it yet.
Right, yeah.
I'm a fucking Leo.
So as I look at yet another house that my enjoyable other does
house situation.
Hmm?
I said I can't even understand and imagine your house situation because to me your house situation is like this times 10.
Well, no, I don't know. I mean, my apartment's fine. It's just
the frustration side.
Look, I didn't punch him. As we look at yet another house that my enjoyable other does not want to live in, that is completely suitable for a year while we raise our credit scores, because both our credit scores just decided to fall 30 points for perceivably no reason. And possibly chunk aside some cash for house down payment, because it would be lovely to buy a house with 20% down. That would be great. And it's within walking distance of the little one's school, so I am not paying for anybody to drop him off at home anymore.
Right.
I'm not finding anybody because the young lady that was doing it for me very part-time last year went off to college. So I was like, this works. I don't love the house. The house has a weird basement and a weird attic, but it works. And when I say weird, I just mean like, why is there a light switch on the ceiling?
Oh, spatially strange.
Yeah, not like
bad vibe weird.
Creepy. Yeah, not vibe weird. Just
was the designer drunk?
Yeah, like it's like they did updates in the basement. There used to be like string lights and they put in switches, but they put them on the ceiling because it's the basement. Nobody cares. It was just, and there was one weird, like, what is this thing on the wall? There is a room down there, but it's not a room that anybody would genuinely hang out in. Like,
is it an old house or no?
Yeah, it's probably really old and it's probably like a storage room.
I was going to say it might have been a coal room too, because I know in my mom's basement there was a coal room.
Right. So like it's just like it's four walls and a door,
Yeah.
but it's like this is not living space. This
Yeah,
is
no.
just
It's
this
too
room.
small, first of all, and it's just weird. In my mom's
I,
house, that was the coal room.
my childhood bedroom was probably that size, so but it was just like it's like not quite finished enough to be a space that anybody would actually do. And then there's like open space down there, and Lucas was like, "We can game down here," and I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." And obviously, people were hanging out down there. There's a panther painted on the wall in gold.
Well, all right then.
Our high schools, all of the schools except one's mascot is Panthers, and then we have a junior high that has a different mascot for
Huh.
junior high. Yeah, all the high schools, the elementary schools, they're all Panthers, and we got one junior high school with a different mascot. Whatever makes them happy. So yeah, so he doesn't want the space, and I don't remember where I was going with that.
The
Oh,
disappointment
I was
of the
I was coming home and the question entered my head, what's right about this that I'm not getting?
oh,
And I rolled
great.
my eyes at them because I was like, I don't want to know right now. I just want to be mad at him.
Still in pouting mode. I'm still in angry mode. I'm still in fuck you mode. Really? You're gonna ask me that? That's a great question though. Say it
It's an
again.
access tool that I love. What's right about this that I'm not getting?
Oh, I love that. What's
Yeah.
right about this that I'm not getting?
Yeah.
Today, I could sit with that question. Yesterday, when it was like, oh, yeah, no, sorry, we canceled the this week month's meeting, wouldn't have been open to that question. Today, I could sit with that though. I like that. What's right about this that I'm not getting?
I also wonder if there is something to the insistence upon not planning it that may be facilitating this.
Maybe I felt like taking the steps of planning the girls' day out, though, even though it wasn't officially birthday celebration, because that's honestly, if I go back to, rewind a few months, when I was looking at going home for my ex-brother-in-law's funeral, it was what's important to me, what's really the purpose of my going home. So the purpose of me doing something isn't necessarily to mark 50. Holy crap, 50. I'm half a century in a week. When the hell did that happen? But it's more to spend, because I don't do a lot of stuff with girlfriends. I don't do any of the things I do with friends. Always has to center, it's always centered around business. And so my taking steps to saying, hey, I want to hang out outside of business conversation, I want to hang out to hang out, that was my bigger point. I didn't really want to plan it as a birthday party for me. It was more about hanging out. So when the hanging out got canceled, it was like, well,
Yeah,
does that make
yeah,
sense?
it does. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I
And I've decided
wonder.
that next year I do need to plan something, but it's not going to be a birthday party next year. I've decided I'm going on a motherfucking trip. And I may bake cupcakes and take them with me, or I may not. But
Where are we? Did I send you the cupcake recipe?
I don't remember if you did or not. I'm making buttermilk chocolate sheet cake into
Oh,
cupcakes,
yeah,
though.
you told me that.
Yeah.
Did you send me
Those were
that
my favorite.
recipe?
You what?
I said, did you send me that recipe? Because it sounded great.
Oh, I didn't, but I will.
Okay.
Maybe this is
Um,
turning into a food vlog.
listen, that's also a great conversation.
Right?
Um, I feel like, oh, so the tools of access are all questions, except for that all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had fun adventures with sleep lately. Um, and by that I mean I'm not sleeping until my day off, or immediately after work on a short day, and I sleep until I pry myself out of bed because I have to feed boys. Um, or some days it's like make pasta. I can't get up. But as I was not falling asleep last night, I went through a litany of questions, including what questions can I ask right now that would help me get to sleep?
Ooh.
Yeah, I went like way back to just asking what questions can I ask, because the premise of access is that questions create.
Yes.
And I had been seeing all of the places that I had been in decision about the house shopping and about the parenting, because I'm also having some new parenting adventures. And I haven't been asking questions. I haven't really been thinking about what I want. I've just been sort of like this about how things are showing up.
Mm-hmm.
The Abraham concept of pre-paving keeps coming up for me, where my 30th birthday, since you're talking about birthdays, my 30th birthday, I was doing nothing. And then all of a sudden, like the night before, I decided at like 8 p.m. that I wanted a birthday extravaganza. So I scripted just like it had, like I was ending the day on my birthday. And I wrote out like, these people showed up and they brought me balloons and a gift and blah, blah, blah. And it was great. And we had cake and I'm excited and I love my life. And how does it get any better than this? And it all unfolded, but not the way I wrote it. So that was sort of why the question of, is the insistence on not being the one that plans it sort of something that you could be a little flexible about, that might allow it to unfold. And even if it doesn't unfold in the details that you desire, maybe it'll still unfold with the essence of what you desire, because that's what we ultimately get anyway.
Right, right. And it's more the essence. Like I said, it was more about the girl time. It wasn't about is it my birthday? So it's the essence of it. It's the that aspect. So there may be something of that for me to look at for sure. Um, I simply didn't want to be like, I'm having a birthday party for me. Everybody should come and bring me shit, because no, I want to hang out with people. I want to celebrate the fact that I've walked this planet for 50 years and you're my friends.
Yeah.
You're in my life. For me, that's what it's about.
Completely different energy.
Yeah. I will wear a tiara, of course.
That's hilarious. So is it not okay for your birthday party to have like, for you to plan it with that energy? Like, if it's a birthday party, does it have to be come bring me shit?
No. I just know my friends well enough to know that many of them would think that that's what it would need to be, which is why I didn't want to plan it as a birthday party, which is why it was like, let's go to the winery. Let's go have a girls' afternoon at the winery.
Yeah, from a birthday.
Yeah.
I've sent out those invitations and I've received those invitations. I've received the don't bring me things invitation. And this this might be a juicy opportunity to really like dig into the asking like thing. And sometimes we can ask if people are going to do what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
Babe, will you go get some Oscar Mayer thick cut bacon? No, actually, I asked him for Bob Evans sausage patties, like the pre-done patties. And he texted me and said some other brand of bacon was only $3.99. So I didn't want the bacon because the bacon was like way more than Walmart's. Same brand, same package, $3 more or something like that. And he was like, well, different brand, $3 less than Walmart's. I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
Yeah, because they are not all equal.
They are not. He does not believe me.
He and I have to talk.
We do. So he comes back with the roll that you have to like form your own patties and then cook.
Oh, sure.
And I was like, well, will you make them? And he was like, dude, it's the same thing. I'm like, it's really not. Like
No,
every time I make these, I burn them. Or they're still pink in the middle when they're done. I know how to make the preformed patties. I fuck up these every time I make them. Hi, Bear.
Hey, kiddo.
And so he says, you're too picky, I can't shop for you. Which was fun. No, you're not listening. So people are going to do what they're going to do no matter what your instructions are. But
that man needs to be schooled on sausage and bacon. Can I just say?
Not only that, but I am actually not picky. It was so great though, because my mom and my ex-husband used to tell me that very thing. You are too picky because I know what I like and I'm not interested in what's not what I requested or what's not what I like. I like plain white K-Swiss, the 1995 ones. I don't want the pink ones. I don't want the blue ones. I want the plain white ones. I always have plain white tennis shoes. Don't ask me why. I get white dirty real fast. Whatever.
What's really interesting to me is, as you're saying all of this, what a huge thing in our culture. We are finally starting to shift and turn the corner, I think, from what I'm seeing anyway, of encouraging people to go after what it is they want, to know and understand what that is, and to speak it out loud and to go for it. And yet we turn around and when somebody says, I want the preformed patties from Bob Evans, we're like, you're so picky. I brought you something you didn't want.
How dare you not be okay with it?
Yeah, I brought you something you didn't ask for, and then you want me to actually make it. You are so picky. It's such a mixed message thing. And I realize it's sausage. It's not going to necessarily make or break our lives, right? Because we're not eating the sausage we want. And I'll use bacon because we tend to be a bacon household when we eat that kind of thing. And they're not all created equal at all. We had Bacon of the Month Club for our wedding from my sister. And I can tell you, there are some really amazing bacons out there. And I'm sorry, when you get I won't mention the crappy bacon names, but the crappy bacon that's cheap at the grocery store here. Oh no, it's not the same at all.
No.
It makes Oscar Mayer bacon look like the king of bacons, which is not, just FYI, but
It's not, but I mean, when you've got those options, I mean, it could be my grandmother's bacon, and that is phenomenal. So
right. But it's the mixed messages of, we tell people, ask for what you want, go for what you want, believe in what you want. You're too picky.
Yeah. It was great, because if it had been my mom or my ex-husband who brought me, blue and white K-Swiss instead of plain white K-Swiss, and then was upset that I didn't like them when that's not what I wanted and not what I asked for, and you could have just given me $60 and I would have got my own shoes and we wouldn't be having this conversation. They didn't listen to me.
Yeah.
But until now, he has listened to me. So when he said, "You're too picky," it actually made me stop and look at that. Mm-hmm. And that was the day that I texted you, and I was like, you know what? I have uncovered some of my issues with desire. When I do desire things, people tell me it's wrong.
What a hell of a message to be getting and to be embedding into your unconscious.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've, I know you were doing, because I remember that texting back and forth. Do you feel like you've worked through a lot of that so that there isn't the residual unconscious, I'm too picky conversation, don't ask for what I want, or anything else that's lingering back there?
Oh, there's lingerings. As we have yet another adventure with a house that he doesn't want. I am seeing how that played into even this experience. Okay. And it's layered. There's some of my values around partnership that played into this, into my decision-making process, and how quickly things can change when that value gets set aside. And there's been a lot of, okay, if this is not a joint effort and a joint conversation, what do I want?
Yeah.
And seeing how crystal clear I am about that. Versus when we're looking at things together and I'm asking him what he wants and being super flexible. And every time we have one of these experiences, I become less flexible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
Because there's some fuck it, I'll do it myself involved for sure. But the submissive aspects of me have to have certainty in order to follow. And there is no concrete, defined, it has to be a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in this county in St. Louis, or in this city in Illinois. We're just kind of looking at spaces.
He's still going on the premise of I'll know it when I see it?
Yeah, but there's more to it than that.
Okay.
And so without the solid, this is what we're doing, we are living in St. Louis or we are living in O'Fallon, I am just like, there's nothing to follow, so I'm not following anymore.
Would you say that there's kind of a checked out energy to that, or no?
Maybe. It doesn't feel like checked out. It feels
Okay.
more like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Because I'm very clear about what I want.
Hmm. So what would it take to practice flexibility to create the partnership that finds the right space for all involved?
Some certainty from my partner.
Aha. There's a good ask. And I know that you've been doing that. So how would you need to ask it in a different way so he hears it differently and might actually be able to create some clear certainty?
That's a good question, and I will explore that one.
Yeah.
That came up for me last night as I was wanting to throw things at him.
Good. Because sometimes we have to say things or ask things in a different way, and it can, I know for me, it can just be like, why the fuck are you not getting this? Because it's really simple English. I'm not using great big ass words. But a great example of that is a woman I used to work with. We were peers, and we didn't always have to work on projects, but a lot of what we did overlapped, and so we did have to work together somewhat frequently-ish. And we didn't always approach things the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one day we stood in my boss's office arguing for, 10, 15 minutes on something. And finally, all of a sudden, something she said, I just went, wait, what? Because I realized in what she said and how she said it in that moment, what we had been arguing for 10 minutes, we were arguing the same side of the equation. Same argument, same side of the argument. We just weren't seeing each other's points because we weren't understanding each other's language. And so it may be that for him, if he's big picture, he may be hard pressed to find certainty in this situation, in this house finding thing. There's a lot of different, it could be this, it could be that kind of thing. Well, that's mind reading from where I'm sitting, of course.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's simply a matter of, if you've not gotten the answers you need and want, it may be having the question, asking a different question to have the conversation in a different way.
I agree.
But I also get you're not quite there.
We're going to talk about it on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's nice is it's not like, oh my God, I have to be out of my house at the end of the week.
I don't have a time frame. I was actually, the conversation started because I was like, yeah, I'm just going to be in this apartment until he graduates from high school, apparently. And he laughed. But yeah.
Let's not put that out there.
It's fine.
Let's not put that out there, though.
No.
But do we really want fine?
That's a Sagittarian fine. That's one of those when you ask a woman how she feels and she says fine, fine.
So that's on the border of, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself.
Oh no, I've tripped over the border. Yeah. Yep. It's good. You'll be all right.
It will be. It will be.
But it's bringing up new and interesting ideas for asks for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I do it myself, what would it take to create $9,000 of total ease?
Ooh.
what could I offer? Who could I ask? What are the possibilities here that I haven't thought of yet?
Mm-hmm.
But I woke up this morning, prayed, made breakfast, and went back to sleep because I felt awful. So we'll see what answers arise this afternoon.
So here's an interesting thing. You've been having a hard time going to sleep.
Yes.
And it's been more the getting to sleep than the staying asleep, right?
Sort of. One of those mornings I woke up at 4:40 and I was like, dude, we haven't really had enough sleep yet. But I was like too awake to go back to sleep before I needed to get up to pray.
I get that.
Yeah.
Well, especially since you're getting up at dark 30 to do so.
It was a good idea when I started it. I was sleeping when I started it, sort of.
That was an ask that I was very easily responding no to. Anybody else want to do this? No, because that's like at 3:30 my time. So absolutely not.
No, I did this when I moved to O'Fallon and I really wanted to create a prayer practice.
Yeah.
And I did it this time because I really wanted to get up when I wake up because my body thinks she's a farmer. We have nothing to milk. But I wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. anyway. So if there's someone waiting on the line for me to pray with them, I'm going to be up.
I got it.
And it's been a fun first week.
Your body's decided to do something different this time around. So,
yeah.
So it's interesting that your sleep is harder right now, more sporadic. We got all the planetary stuff. That's part of it. The other aspect of it, having a difficult time going to sleep, we usually, in Chinese medicine, just looking at the clock, the 24-hour clock, I would look to gallbladder. Gallbladder is all about indecision. And it's not that you're being indecisive, but you're going through this period of indecision in not being able to make a decision to move forward on the house because you're working together with someone. So I'm finding it interesting in the other aspect of that, you're having a harder time staying asleep. We look typically to liver, depending on what time it is. If you're always waking up at the same time, I would look to something different perhaps. Going to sleep, I look at gallbladder. Staying asleep, I look at liver. Liver, as you know, is from a Chinese medicine standpoint, is the organ of anger. Slightly different in timeline, but indecision and anger. So,
yeah.
What do you need to resolve about the house hunting so that it can be truly okay instead of I'm fine?
Damn it, Naomi. I'm gonna grab my journal.
Yay, I'm not the only one.
All right, so
thanks for not making me be the only one who ever cries on these damn calls.
I haven't cried. Oh, crying was Sunday. When my I don't want to do this by myself was triggered, and I don't want to do it wrong was triggered. And I was like, well, yay. I thought I was done with this. Okay, what do I need to resolve?
I know this is totally off topic, but you're so pretty.
Dang!
You're welcome.
The universe apparently wants me to work on my self-esteem. Because, so completely related to that comment and off topic, but maybe somebody wants to hear this. I grew up being teased about my skin complexion. My skin complexion and the teeth were the same size, when I was younger, but my head wasn't this big yet. So they didn't fit.
You were like all teeth.
The front ones. I got called Bugs Bunny a couple times. And my eyes are really big. And I had Coke bottle glasses. So they were even bigger. And I had Jerry curl in the 90s. And I was a twig. I was like this big. I didn't have a curve to be seen because I was 9, 10, 11. I might have had curves once I was 12. And so it's just like, let's pick on this child because she's obviously a chocolate covered string bean with glasses and buck teeth. It was wonderful. I, however, did not take it personally. I just thought people were stupid because God made all this. Like, you can't be mad at me. God chose the skin. God gave me the hair. I mean, like, maybe I picked all this stuff out, but like, really? I mean, really, people. So, and some of these people were like almost this color. So how are you going to like hate on me for being almost the same color as you? I'm going to need you to get it together. So that was my perspective, even when I was in elementary school. And then when I was 19, I was at a MLM conference for Primerica. And this woman walked up to me and went, "Oh my God, you were so pretty." And I was like, Whitney Houston's behind me? There was a wall behind me. There's like an empty room. Nobody was in it but me. Everybody had filed out for lunch. And I was just like, thanks. I had no, like, I get that I'm beautiful. I don't think that I'm ugly. This is not like a body dysmorphia thing. But my definition of pretty doesn't match my face. So when people are like, "You are so pretty," I'm like, and it's been happening lately. Like, someone came into work and did that very thing that you just did, and I was just like, thank you. I've learned to take compliments on like my outfit or my clothes or like the ability to wear the short hair when I wear the dangly ear. All of that. I'm like, thanks. Yeah. And ask me where it's from and I'll tell you. I've stopped telling people where things are from before they ask. But I find it really interesting that like that's become a thing lately. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. I don't understand, but I hear you.
You really don't understand.
I don't.
Okay, so you have worked your way up out of depression.
Yeah.
Right? You've gotten very okay with who you are, what you can do, what your gifts are, what your skills are. You've gotten very okay with who you are. Physically, yes, you're pretty. You've got beautiful bone structure. I frankly think your complexion and coloring is amazing. Yes, the short hair, you can fucking rock it. You've got a good head shape. And you're always, look at that. See, you're always smiling. All I thought was, except maybe when there's teenagers involved. But
oh my gosh, I love her so much. I do.
I know you do. But teenagers, we were
so
all
much, and we'll give her away.
You'll love her even more than I do for a minute, at least for an afternoon. Okay. So, but don't you think that maybe that shift in how you feel inside is also part of what people are seeing?
I can receive that. Because sometimes I'm glowing and I'm like walking around the world all glowy and the men are like, hey, and I'm like, oh, wait, let me turn my glow.
I didn't mean that. That's not a hey baby glow. Just so
no, I'm just happy right now. Yeah, okay, I receive that. Yeah, thank you. So I have some interesting asks on board, and I have an interesting conversation that I get to have whenever he decides to have it, because work is stressing him out and I am not adding to the stress.
See, and I think that's the partnership piece for you is recognizing when our partners aren't at a place to have a conversation like that.
Or I didn't recognize it. He told me.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm not in the space to have that conversation right now.
Yeah.
You know,
he was like, let's put a pin in this because work is stressing me out. And let's just revisit it this weekend. And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, and what's so great about that is he made an ask to work, talk about it this weekend and put a date to it instead of just, we'll talk about that sometime, we can talk about that. And it never happens. He made a legit request. So yay for him for asking.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited now.
Good. Does it feel a little bit differently?
It does, yeah. I went to sleep in a weird space, I think. And so, law of attraction, momentum, I kind of woke up in that same weird space.
Sure.
And then I went back to sleep. And now I'm awake again. So it would be a great afternoon.
Awesome.
Or I'll go back to sleep, whatever.
I'm going to pack a couple bags.
Yay. Where are we going?
We're not sure if we're going to have to go. It depends on whether or not we end up evac'd. So.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
Hopefully nowhere. Hopefully. So.
Ditto.
I just got my crew busy on other things. Somebody else's crew is going to have to handle that.
I'm pretty sure there's a firefighter in your crew.
Oh, I'm sure there's more than one firefighter in my crew.
Somebody's really big. Just put them around your building. It'll be fine.
Right.
Whoever they are.
Works for me.
They're very tall.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Any words of wisdom for the people watching in the future?
Use Leela's question. That was a perfect question about what's right about this that I'm not getting. I think that's a brilliant, and recognizing that maybe in the moment you can't ask yourself that. Yesterday, I could not have asked myself that. Today, I'm more in a place to ask myself that.
Yeah. And sometimes your crew asks you and you give them the side eye.
Right. And tell them to ask me that tomorrow because today I don't want to hear it. But it's I think that of the various things we hit on today is a huge piece. What's right about this that I'm not getting, that I'm not understanding? What comes up for me is that I'm unwilling to hear right now. So,
wow.
Fabulous question, right?
Yeah. And what would it take to be willing?
Yeah.
If you're willing to be willing.
Yeah. Am I willing to be willing? And yesterday, again, giving yourself grace when you are in that space of, and right now, I just want to be mad. Right now, I need to feel all the feels instead of just be like, well, it'll be fine. No, feel the feels. Be mad if you need to be mad. Be upset and sad and pouty if you need to be upset, sad, and pouty. Feel whatever it is. And refuse to stay there. Refuse to stay in the anger. Refuse to stay in the sad and pouty.
Or you'll end up like Leela, needing more cleanse your liver and waiting for payday.
Yeah, cleanse your liver, or or it ends up becoming a spiraling down. So
yeah, that's not fun.
Allow yourself to feel the feels and get a good night's sleep, drink some water, whatever it is that you need to do to then be willing to ask the question.
And it's okay to ask. I'm also going to add that it's okay to ask the question to get yourself into the space.
Yeah.
Sometimes what comes to me is Edwin Gaines, which is one of my favorite prosperity teachers. Forgiveness prayer for her ex-husband who left her on their honeymoon in Europe with $60,000 debt. I forgive you, you sad, sorry SOB. Like, there was no legit forgiveness in that statement in that moment, but she knew that she had to forgive him. When I was working on forgiving the lovely man that talked me out of $1,800 while I was grieving my mother's death and then promptly kicked me and my kids out of his house with no car and no job. My prayer was, God, I need you to forgive him for me because I want him hit by a car. Not dead, just in ICU.
Just nice and maimed.
And so sometimes, oh, what's right about this I'm not getting is the way you ask the question until it's like, oh, but really, what's right about this I'm not getting?
What is right about this? Yeah, there's that spectrum of, and it can pull you through to where you are willing to look at the question and answer it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's beautiful and brilliant.
Yep.
I think that's a perfect thing for the end of this call.
I think so too. See you guys next week.
Bye.